Start.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of FPL Backbenchers. I'm, as usual, joined by my co-host Anjan and Ronajoy. It's the 1st of September, and it's episode 4 of our podcast. How you guys doing, guys?
Doing well, especially after Ronaldo has come back. Very excited. What about you, Anjan? How are you doing?
Well, pretty happy.
Nah, Anjan is
Pretty.
sad.
No,
He
no,
feels the
no.
squad is not adequate.
Not sad actually, but
He
okay,
has no
I'm
reason
fine.
to be
Pretty
sad
happy.
from an FPL point of view.
Like, we didn't get Kunde.
Okay, let's.
Was the big deal,
Yes. Yeah, very sad there.
right?
No,
Today we
nothing
are
happened.
joined
Okay,
by
fine.
a very special guest of ours. His name is Ritwick. He's a very near and dear friend of ours. Actually, he's a childhood friend of mine, and he's one of the guys who is actually, you can say, the founding fathers of this pod. In the sense, it was his idea, and we are just the executioners. We are executing it, right? Ronja, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, he's definitely one of the founding. He's the brain behind this pod, actually. And and it's nice to have you, Ritwik. How do you feel? How, how does it like to be in your own pod?
It feels great, but I would like to add you forgot the most important part of my introduction. I was the inaugural winner of our first mini league that we played around 12 years ago. I was the first winner of our amongst the three of us, me, Somnath, and Ronuja.
Yeah,
So you forgot to mention that. I'll hold you
I
against
did
it.
not forget. I,
The Rafael
I did
Vanderwaart.
not forget it.
Yeah,
You
Rafael
never.
Vandervaart and Robert Huth. They were my
The go-to guys.
diamonds for go-to guys for the season. But it's on a very serious note. It's very nice to be on this pod. First of all, hats off to all three of you. You've done a tremendous job over the last 3 game weeks. The effort and the dedication, the determination, the grit that goes into setting up a pod and covering all the aspects, the stats, and all the very trivial issues related with it is very hard to manage. But you guys have done a tremendous job, and you all are saying that I'm like founding father and the brains behind it, but you are the heart and soul of this pod. I'm just a guy who's always there to support you all, and it's very nice feeling to be part of this actually. um,
I
Nothing
actually
much to add.
remember.
Yeah,
Humble
yeah.
speech. Have you prepared it, Ritwik?
No, I not talented as Robert Downey Jr. On the stage I cannot go and just give a speech at the drop of the hat, but yeah, I'm like kind of emotional. It's my first experience on a live show, so yeah, a bit nervous also, but
Yeah,
let's see how
let's
it
not get
goes.
too emotional. I mean, people will be asking us to get a room. Anyways, I was just wondering. I was thinking about the phone call and the phone conversation that you and me had, Ritvik. So, why
Yeah.
don't you tell our audience and as well as us, like, why did you have the idea about doing a pod?
No specific reason behind it. I watched a few pods online. Not a big fan of the podcast and all, but no offense. But I thought that we have been doing the FPL for the past 12 years. I think all three of us, four of us, 12, 13 years we have put into it. And I thought that we learn from our mistakes every year. We say things which I cannot say on a live show. What are the things we say to each other regarding our FPL season?
Favorite
And
player.
favorite players, favorite teams, stuff like that. We thought that yeah, why not give it a try? Because we even failure is a thing that teaches you experience, and I think Somnath has a good 3 4 seasons under his belt, 5K or something like finish. Ronuja, Anjan, they're all good. Not my best finish is 50,000. Please cut that. But still, I thought that we can give it a shot. We know the game. We have been playing regularly FPL day in day out. Majority of our phone discussions are on FPL. I think if we talk an hour a day, 35 minutes, 45 minutes is which player to bring in, what do you think this will do, that player will do, what is the impact and stuff like that. We thought it's a good, we can give it a shot, and I'm glad that I gave this suggestion because the 3 weeks that you all have done this, I have learned a lot from this pod. It has helped me in my FPL team, to be honest. I've taken some pointers out of your gyan, which you call. Oh, it helped me. Yeah, I hope the audience who are viewing this take benefit, or it helps them in some ways. The FPL backbenchers is a good thing. I think it's a wonderful thing that we are doing. It's time to
So,
repay the community, I think.
with that, would you like
Great.
to plug in a like and subscribe for our audience on behalf of?
I think it's the to our audience, I would like to say that these three guys are doing a hell of a job. They are giving their time, their effort, dedication, grit, everything. These guys deserve a like, share, and subscribe. So, guys, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button so that the channel grows and they can come up every week with good content that can help you. Yeah.
Okay.
FYI,
So
we did
before we
not ask
move on
you.
to before we move on to our first section, I think um, Ritwik, it's great to have you on the show. It's
Thank
great to
you.
have you on the pod, and thank you for coming up with the idea. And we would really love if
Thank
you
you.
are also always a constant part of
I'll
this.
try my best, bro. I'll try my best. Thank you.
So having said that, Shomnath, would you like to begin with the first section?
Yeah, sure. We will be keeping on chatting with Ritwik throughout the pod in different sections. But right now, let's get into our game week 3 points. I think we'll start off with our guest. Ritwik, if you
Uh,
can read out your points and your team for us.
yeah. Okay. No, as you can see, not a very terrific game week 3 for me. I had a good start for the couple of first two game weeks,
Yeah, you have
but
a good start, man.
I don't think 50 odd points is a good start considering people had Antonio captain. I don't have him in my team because of my love for Daddy Ings, as I call him. And this would have been a different ball game altogether had I taken Antonio in place of Danny Ings. But hindsight. So I think the biggest letdown for me in this game week has been my captain choice. I think I was expecting a goal minimum from Bruno Fernandes. Defense not much there. I think it's a template defense. Everybody has Sanchez, Shaw, Alexander Arnold. I think Duffy is there. I think in most of the team, nothing much to talk. Greenwood has been a solid buy for me. I would say from game week 1, he's in my team and he has given me returns. Ben Rama was a punt which I got the idea from your pod, obviously for the first pod which I saw. I had no idea of who Ben Rama was. You all said that you had watched him in his friendlies. He looked fiery and everything. So I did give it a shot. 6 million. What the hell? But good choice, Ben Rama. Mo Salah does not need much speaking. Riyad Mahrez, I have a big problem with that baldy Pep Guardiola. I'll tell you. This guy had a terrific preseason. To game week 1, he came off the bench. I think he scored a goal. Game week 2, I think he did something, and again he has given me assist. I don't know why that Baldy does not trust Mahrez. I think he's one of the finest players at City. Ivan Tony, I'm very happy. I got a goal from him finally, in spite of the price drop. I was really gutted with that price drop. And Danny Ings, I think I have personal affection for Daddy Ings, as I call him. He's there in my team since game week 1. Because of him, I could not have Antonio, and my bench is, I think, a dead bench. White, I think, is down with COVID or something like that. All in all, not a very great game week for me. I'm very disappointed with my game week score, considering the start I had for the initial 2 game weeks. 51 points, all I could manage. Let's see. The international break is there. I have 2 FTs in my hand, so I think I'll be shuffling the team midfield a little bit and hope to score and get back amongst the good points like you all. So that's it from my team. I think nothing much to say over there.
I mean,
Start.
I mean, let's call that a minor blip in the long scheme of things.
I hope
Uh,
so.
in saying that, if you would like to tell our audience, I mean, as I know, you are not really a template kind of a manager. So how did you manage to end up having a template kind of a team?
Uh, I think primary reason was that I think the initial set of fixtures for the big teams were good enough to have them. I think Manchester United, City, they all had a good run of fixtures. I was uncertain on a few things, whether to take Danny Ings or Antonio or DCL. I was not convinced with the Everton manager, to be honest. He's a very defensive-minded manager. DCL giving points is like a blessing for all the managers having him because the Everton manager is very defensive-minded. As yeah, you have him in your team, I know. Ivan Tony, I just got caught up in the hype, to be honest. You seeing the ownership was 30-40%. I just got caught up
Like
in the
most
hype.
of us.
Like most of us, we got caught in the hype. If
Well,
I think there was
it's a
no.
style of play.
I
I
think
mean,
template was the. I think the main thing that I saw on the social media platforms, and I found the team very nice. The template team is looking nice for the first 2-3 game weeks. So I think when the fixture will turn, I think we'll see variations from a lot of managers. I think you'll see variations in a lot of teams.
we can
I think it's
expect big
very
moves
early in
from
the season. Yes, correct.
we can expect big moves from you ahead, transfer wise.
I have 2 free transfers, so I'm hoping to turn around. I don't like seeing a 50 score in a way too early. It takes a lot of effort to catch up with the pros and all out there.
Got it. I hope you score a century once again.
I hope so too.
Moving on to Anjan's team. How
Mm.
did you do, Anjan?
Well, I did fairly okay. My captain was Bruno Fernandes, which was a disappointment, no doubt about that. Apart from that, I had Sanchez in my goalkeeper. My defender were Alexander Arnold, Shaw, Eiling, and my midfield were Benrahma, Salah, Barnes, Grealish, and my forward were Wilson and Antonio. I'm very much I'm very much worried about Harvey Barnes actually. I'm really unsatisfied with him. So overall, it was okay kind of score. But
What
anyways,
was your point again? How many points did you score?
58.
58. And you did not do any transfer, right?
Yeah, pardon?
You did not do any transfer, right?
No, 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 no. I didn't.
Okay, so he has a rollover transfer.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Moving on, let's move on to Ronnie's team.
Okay, so again, a decent game week. The average points are 54. I scored 59. Not a very good game week. Bruno Fernandes did not do it for me. I also had Rafinha, Eiling, who did not, score good points. I now have one free transfer with me, which let's see how do I plan to use it. Currently I do plan to bring Ronaldo in, but I do not know how. In terms of my last game week, at least my bench did not score too many points, so that is something which I got my bench correct. But the rest of the team, like you could see, is a pretty template team. I had Antonio, Ings, and Tony. Ings and Tony thankfully gave some points, especially Tony, obviously. Salah, Greenwood are in everyone's team. They're pretty consistent. So all in all, a pretty decent game week for me. Not too good, but I can't complain. These are the kind of game weeks you should have if you want to have a good run and end with a good overall run. Do you agree with this, guys?
Yeah, I mean, eventually I mean, all of you guys, I think, barring me, had a century pointer starting game week one, right? So there will be variance. There are game weeks that are low on averages. There are game weeks that are high on averages. Eventually, it is not about this one game week, as we say. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon, right? So if you are happy with your team, definitely, I mean, moving forward, you will
I
beat the
think
defending
we didn't have a bad game week, to be honest. We had a bad captain choice. Add a goal to Bruno Fernandes, it gives you 16 points flat. Your score is above 70, I think. I think
Yeah.
we had a bad captain choice, not a bad game
Very,
week.
very, very good point. Yes,
Very good point, actually.
an unlucky captain choice because
But I'm still upset
ideally
with
you would
Baldy for
expect
not
Bruno
playing Mahrez.
Fernandes. You would
I hope he
expect
listens
Bruno
this.
Fernandes to give some returns. Shomnath, what about
Well,
you? You are the highest of us, the four of us.
He had a ball of a game week, Somnath.
well, to start off things, I did take a -8. My score was 75 for the 5 points for the game week, which even including the hit, I think it was a bit above average. Uh, Sanchez, as per usual, gave me 2 pointers. It was nice to get a clean sheet from Shaw for a change. I don't know when that has happened last time. Trent got lovely couple of bonuses for a 4 pointer. I brought in Greenwood. It was good to see him get the goal. I was celebrating that. Salah scored a goal for me, which was good. Calvert Lewin I had brought in, he had got a goal as well as Max bonus. You'll have to see that. Ben Rama is the first game week that he had blanked. It could have been something else if Antonio could have just completed the pass properly. It would have been another Ben Rama goal and Antonio assist. But I cannot complain. Benny has done more than enough in the first two game weeks for me. I'm happy to hold. Antonio again, I mean, he is on fire. So he just got
Let's
one assist, one goal, and it was brilliant. The thing that paid off for me is my captain choice. Contrary to popular choices, I went with Sun. I felt going forward as well. I said he's a good choice for the game week, and yeah, he got the only goal of the game. So pretty happy with all
Yeah,
the
he
things.
delivered.
If only you had kept Antonio captain.
I think there's just 1 point in it. At a point,
Well,
Sam was matching Antonio with bonuses, but I'll take any day. 10 points from a captain, I'll take any day of the day.
True.
actually,
Yeah,
actually,
all in all, a good game week for you and a decent game week for the three of us, I guess.
no,
Yeah.
actually, I wanted to say something that the Somnath captain pick has been consistently clicking on. Last week also he had Mane captain, which every one of us had Salah captain. So kind of what's the reasoning behind all these captain picks?
I genuinely did not want to mention that and jinx the thing. Thank you for mentioning it and actually jinxing it right now. My captain went blank for the next game week. Uh, I don't know.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I think not having Bruno has made things easy and exciting for me. Right. So I did not have Bruno in game week 1. I still don't own Bruno for this season. Had I had Bruno, I think my inclination to captain him would have been higher. So I think that might have been however you take it. It's a blessing in disguise or it's a disgrace, whatever. I missed the hat trick, but then again, the next two game weeks I did not have Bruno to captain. So yeah, I went ahead with different choices.
And now we have
Great.
clinched it.
I think with that we have covered all our teams. With that, we should move to our next section,
Yeah.
which is a review of the previous game week. Shumnath, would you want to go
Yeah,
first?
let's look at game week 3. I really don't want to go first, answering your question, but then again, let's go first. First match was Manchester City at Etihad against Arsenal Football Club. Scoreline was 5-0. Nothing too much to add about Arsenal.
Scoreline
They
was
did
5-0
not,
luckily.
yeah, it was luckily 5-0. Nothing much to add. It was a very poor game from Arsenal once again. Uh, City outclassed us in all department. I think our formation to start with was wrong, and then our only holding midfielder, who happens also to be surprise, our captain, decides to get a red card in the biggest match of the year, which is very pretty normal for him to get 4 5 red cards in a year. This is one of the matches that he selects to get that red card, and the dog barking somewhere.
I think
Oh
so.
yeah, around my area. Anyways, I think
I
from an
think they are
Arsenal
also
City,
Arsenal fans.
Yeah, yeah. He's also seemingly upset that
Yeah,
Arsenal did
yeah,
not do much in the.
I
Yeah.
think they are shouting in their
I think
approval
He's
for.
voicing his opinion. Yeah.
from an Arsenal City point of view, obviously Arsenal were clueless, but Arsenal did start as the stronger of the two teams. They had a very good 7 to 8 minutes, and
I
after the
find it
first
strange when
goal,
you say that they were the stronger of the two teams. Being a fan, I don't see we started strongly.
in the
Seven,
first
eight,
7 to 8 minutes,
I think we considered a goal in the 6.5, 7 minute mark. So I don't know. We
yeah,
dominated that 7 minute
I
period as
think
well.
I think that is the problem with Arsenal. Once they conceded the goal, all the confidence they lost all the confidence, and the team returned to not playing well against obviously the champions. In terms of Man City, the biggest takeout for me was they had a very easy game. If you do look at Ederson average position over the whole game, it was just outside the D, so you could probably understand how comfortable Ederson was throughout the whole game. And they had seven
He was not
players.
troubled at all.
Sorry,
He was not troubled at all.
Yeah.
he was not
Basically, he had
troubled
a
at all.
free
He
hit.
was a very
Yeah. It was an off
and
day for
if
him.
you And if you look at the game, City had seven players on the line and above. So it was a very easy game for Man City. But having said that, I think Arsenal's fixtures are turning. It's a good time for Arsenal to uh, come back, gain some points. But I guess if you guys, Ritwik and Anjan, do not have anything to add, let's move on to our next fixture, which is
Yeah.
Norwich and Leicester.
Yeah.
It's actually Aston Villa versus Brentford.
Aston Villa Brentford, I think. Yeah, yeah. Villa
Yeah.
Brentford.
So why don't you go ahead with that?
I
I
think
think.
You are the most
Yeah,
nearest
Ronnie,
to
carry
it.
on,
go
carry on,
ahead.
carry on. I think Villa Brentford. I think is a was a very straightforward fixture. I think both the managers were happy with the draw. To be honest, the way I saw it, I think both the managers were happy with the point. For Brentford, I think from an FPL point of view, we Tony owners are very happy. I said it earlier also. He just got a goal. We're just happy. 6.5 goal. That's it. Villa, I think Dannings got an assist for me. And I think Villa, I think when Watkins came on as a sub, I think Villa started to look a little bit more threatening than with Danny Ings playing as a lone striker. So I think that's one area which the FPL managers can look in the coming game weeks when if the manager decides to play a 4-4-2. I think Villa have a very bad run of fixture. I think for the coming 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, the
So
fixtures are
if
done.
the fixtures are tough. But if any manager is a Villa or a Daddy Ings fan like me, they can look at that for both. I think there's not much to talk on this fixture. Both the managers were happy with the draw and they just said, let's pack it and
I
go.
think
They were happy with the draw.
having said that, the 2 or 3 things that I would like to mention is that what we saw is that Tony is actually the farthest up front rather than Mbuemo, who was the farthest up front in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
So we do see that Brentford are looking at scoring those goals. Obviously, Tony is the focal point and he is the main player. He has to score the goals. They have, I hope, tactically seen that Tony has to be the front runner. In terms of Aston Villa, who obviously do have a very poor run of fixtures, most of their attack came from the left, which is El Ghazi's side. El Ghazi did not seem to be a sure starter at the beginning of the season, but he's making a place for himself. Then we also expect Buendia, who will not be available for Gameweek 4, and Bailey to be regulars for this for Aston Villa. So all in all, not a very bad game with with Ings and Tony returning. What do you say,
Yeah.
Shobnath Anjan?
I would like to contradict you a bit. I think, I mean, obviously, El Ghazi has been sensational, but I don't see him keeping his place in the main team or the playing
Uh,
11. Once
I absolutely
he,
agree with you there.
yeah, I don't see that happening. Definitely, Watkin coming changes in a scenario a lot. Generally, I don't think Dean Smith would have been happy with the point against Brentford at home. Uh, so it was kudos to Brentford for actually fighting out that particular point. I think Villa were a bit dismal. Buendia was again very slow on the ball, although he got his goal. But I mean, the gel and the rhythm for me, at least till now, is not there. It's not the Villa that was dominating. I mean, obviously, there's a Jack Grealish shaped hole in that team. Yeah, eventually, I think they'll get up to speed.
Yeah, they're just trying to gel. I think it'll take time, but they'll get back to speed, I think.
Yeah,
Well, I feel like Villa are shaky defensively very much.
yeah.
Especially with Wings out.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Mings out and probably Martinez won't play next game week
That's
Game
for
4.
week
the
against
coming.
Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah, that's for the coming game week.
Yeah.
That's a really good fixture for Chelsea, actually. Moving on, the next match was Brighton versus Everton, right? Everton winning it 2-0 in away day victory. Ronaje, how did you? What were your thoughts about this match?
I think both teams were having a lot of shots from outside the target, and it was a pretty good game. It was a pretty watchable game. It was not like one of those boring games when each of them are defending and they were trying to nick off one goal. Obviously, we had the whole incident with Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, where each of them wanted to take the penalty. So that is also one thing which we have to, be mindful of. That Calvert-Lewin is in fact the one who will take the penalties for
Yeah,
Everton.
Benitez came
I,
after the match and he cleared off that in the post-match
Yeah.
commentary. Yeah, he said that he is the designated penalty taker.
I think one of the biggest takeaways from Everton and itself, if for FPL managers would be Gray. He was sensational. He looks to be a very awesome FPL option. Someone you would like to have in your team. If you do not have Dominic Calvert-Lewin in your team, I think he's definitely one of the options you would like to take.
He's
Brighton,
a
as usual, were good,
very direct player, right? Mm.
very direct player. I think one of the other points is Brighton, as usual, was tried to play attacking football. Both their fullbacks were pretty, high up the front. Both Gross and Yakub, on either of the wings, were pretty good. So all in all, a very watchable game in my opinion. Everton
Yeah, I mean,
definitely deserved
I don't
winners.
think Brighton played bad to lose this match. I just think that there was the drive, there was the creativity, but there just wasn't the execution, as we have seen many times from Neil Mope and company. Um, but yeah, they are a good side. I mean, nothing much to say. It's just
They
that
have
on the
they
day,
have certain
Everton.
injuries. They have certain injuries, and I definitely expect them to improve as and when the players come back.
I think I would like to add, like, Brighton did not play bad at all. I think I saw the full match. They did not play that bad, but still they conceded 2 goals at home. So, like, even if they're not playing bad, they conceded 2 goals at home, which is very unlike Brighton. And Sanchez, I think, in majority of our team. So that is one aspect. If people are wildcarding, they should have a look. Better go for other 4.5 goalkeeper, because I don't see Brighton being that defensively sound or a well-oiled machine like they were last season. To be honest,
Yeah, we
if they
will
did
be
not play bad, still they're
Definitely,
conceding 2 goals at home.
we
definitely
will be
thought that
discussing
would.
wildcard later. We'll be looking at
Yeah, yeah.
goalkeepers. But yeah, I think with Beltman coming in and Lamptey coming in, I don't see it being a panic station. As in, they did not concede 2 goals to somebody like a very low quality team or an inferior team. It was Everton, and I mean they are a decent side themselves. So yeah, it was just a one-off match as I see it. Moving on,
I agree with
the
you
next
there.
the next match was an absolute thriller with a lot of drama. It was Newcastle against Southampton. Newcastle were actually winning the match until I think the 95th and 96th minute of the game.
95th.
Then, yeah, my differential, I would like to plug in once again. My differential, James Ward-Prowse actually scored a goal. So I
Do you
am
need to
two
plug
From
in
in.
right
pen,
now?
from
Yeah,
a penalty which my differential gave you.
yeah. So we'll be doing the differential and clean sheet section next week. But I just wanted to mention that my differential, James Ward-Prowse scored a penalty, got the point.
Okay. Okay.
Two correct differential picks in 2 game weeks back to back. Yeah.
I, I,
So,
I
Anjan,
think
what did you think about the match? Yeah, you were saying on
Well,
yes, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
My takeaway from the game was Southampton. They looked very attacking. In fact, what I saw was that they played a very attacking formation. In fact, 8 of the players were in front of in front of the mid line, on and in front of the mid line. So I do expect Southampton to be very attacking in the coming game weeks, and automatically Armstrong is an option for me. Uh,
To that point, I
Adams,
would
Armstrong.
sorry, I would just like to interject. I would like to interrupt. Sorry for that. I mean, it's becoming a recurring theme of us mentioning this, but I think again we it will be not be fair if we don't mention Livramento. Condolences to Livramento owners, whoever got him, whoever actually played him. How he did not get that assist. I mean, how could not Jennifer finish that chance? It's absolutely unbelievable from point blank range. I mean, that was a definite assist for Livramento owners. He was playing really
But
well.
that,
He was playing
but
really hard.
but that actually speaks volume of the fact that Livramento is definitely an FPL option, especially
Yeah,
given his 4.1, 4.0 price.
I think he's played on really well.
Southampton seems to be a very attacking team. So I would definitely recommend Armstrong to be one of the players you should look at in the upcoming game weeks.
yeah.
Ritvik, Anjan, any points you have to add
Yeah.
there?
Actually, I feel Newcastle are a team. Newcastle are a team which like somebody should target against. You can put a captaincy punt, somebody who is playing that particular team because
I
they
think
sound very defensively.
I wonder
I
who is
agree.
playing Newcastle this game this coming on.
Hmm.
I have
No.
no
Yeah, I
idea.
think, yeah, I have to
Okay,
check.
okay.
We'll have to think about it. Yeah.
Lukaku.
Okay, I
Oh,
think
yes, yes.
it's not Lukaku.
Kaku.
It's an it's an
I
old
know.
boy of some red
Prodigal
penalty.
son
Anyways,
Homecoming.
written on. Yeah. Anyway.
Homecoming.
Yeah. Okay. We are getting off track.
Yeah.
Uh, as we mentioned, yeah, that's a valid point. Uh, adding to what Ronjay was saying, I think Adam Armstrong, I can easily, I think, guys, 12 to 14 goals this season, I can easily see that happening for him. He is an excellent mid-priced forward choice if anybody is looking for him.
and
Yeah.
good
And
option given his price.
I think he will be having a good season. I can see
and
easily close to 15 goals this season.
and and like I think
10
he's
goals for
a
sure.
Sorry?
and I
Sorry,
think
Anjan.
like yeah, I think like he's a very nice uh he's a very nice replacement of Tony.
He's a
The-
ready-made replacement for Danny
mm,
Ings. I think in some ways he's probably better. His movement, he is more agile. Um, yeah, I mean, no hard feelings
I
to Ritwick, but I
Yeah,
think
I was
I
they
about
have
to
quite
say that.
replaced,
Yeah.
yeah, they
I
have
quite
replaced
wouldn't
him.
I quite wouldn't say that, but let's not get into that. I think we should move on to our next fixture,
He's called
which
Daddy
was
Ings for a
actually
reason.
which was absolutely a cracker of a game. West Ham and Crystal Palace.
I think the next match was Norwich and
No,
Leicester.
not Leicester.
Oh, sorry.
So,
I seem to be in a hurry today.
yeah, so you seem to be a bit ahead,
He's
guys.
just wanting to go to the transfer portion, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he is definitely one of those people who are targeting Newcastle defense. Anyways,
Yeah.
so the next match was Norwich against Leicester.
Yeah.
Leicester won this match 2-1. I don't think they look dominant. I don't think they look superior. In fact, interesting stat for you guys. Uh, Anybody know what was Timo Pukki's XG for the game week?
I'm
No, no
expecting
clue.
it to be good.
No
It
clue.
was 1.19, which was the highest in the league for this entire game week. Speaks volume
Okay.
about Leicester defense
Leicester defense,
and as
yeah.
well Leicester's defensive goals. I don't see situations turning until Westergaard comes back. So Yanchu looks out of sorts as well. I mean, it's just not a Mate. They
he needs
do need.
someone to guide him actually. So
They basically need someone who can actually shout at the defense and organize the defense in between the match. I think Johnny Evans is somebody who does that, as Brendan Rodgers was saying after the match as well. So they definitely need the centre back pairing back. I think Castagne coming into the mix or Bertrand getting with the team further will be of much use. Harvey Barnes was wasteful. I don't see him continuing being an FPL option much further. People who might have kept trust with him, like me, I think will be moving on. All of us. I was really impressed by Norwich. I mean, they do not look like a pushover team from 2 years back. They actually have a system that they play. They,
Yeah.
in fact, equalized the match, and their goal was disallowed for Schmeichel getting his eyesight blocked by Todd Campbell. And this is something that happens with Michael a lot. I mean, he's the only goalkeeper in the division who manages to get this kind of a foul, where always his eyesight is blocked by some or the other kind of player. But I definitely feel Norwich City have played really well. They're a very exciting team. Puki Party has begun, guys. He has got his first goal. So, and they have a good run of fixtures. Anything else to add, guys?
Not much for me. Like you said, Barnes was wasteful. He was the farthest up front for Leicester, but he was definitely wasteful. And I also saw, we also saw that Puki's average position was just outside the opposition box. So Puki is definitely gaining in confidence after he scored, and I'm sure that he would go on to score more goals this season. You also talked about Norwich being a very good team. I think in our last pod we mentioned that Norwich has one of the lowest expected goals conceded in the whole league. So they're not conceding a lot of goals at this. They are conceding a lot of goals, but it's not. They're just conceding all on all the chances their
I mean,
opponents
it's
are
not
creating.
clueless. I mean, you can see the system happening. Also,
They
special
do have a
mentions
system.
to yeah, mentions to anybody who took a punt on Jamie Vardy was a very good choice for the captaincy this game week. Got a goal and an assist, I guess. I think yeah.
Yeah,
So good points there. Moving on,
definitely.
the next fixture, as Ronjay was very excited. So why don't you take it? It was West Ham against Crystal Palace, a
I
two-all
think I
draw.
think one, I think definitely one of the highlights of the game week. For me, Fornals. We have been talking about Fornals in each of our pods. He's returned with attacking. He's returned in all three of the game weeks, along with Antonio. And I think for West Ham, 8 of the players were above the midline and beyond. So we do see that West Ham are playing quite a very attacking football at this moment. For me, did seem a bit defensively sound. They did not concede as much as I was expecting them to, and Gallagher seems to have become an option out of the Blues. Definitely want to keep our eyes on. What do you think, Ritwik?
No,
No,
okay.
I want to say whether you guys think that West Ham were unlucky to get a draw, or did Palace played that well to earn a draw? I think it was West Ham's loss, to be honest,
I
because
think Palace
considering the
did.
style of play,
I also
you really
do
think
feel that. I also do feel that Palace did well in the game. They defended not
Well,
they
very
did
I
well
nicely,
think
to
but
earn
they
a
defended
draw
quite
away
well.
from home?
there was this chance that I was again mentioning that Antonio, if the pass would have been correct, that was an easy goal for Vendrama. Uh, in hindsight, you can say that yeah, West Ham should have won. But with Palace, what I generally see, if you have followed Palace this particular season, you can actually see a progression and work happening from their first match to this match. You can see that Vieira is bringing on his influence slow by slow. He's getting through
Yeah,
across to the team. They have added a striker as well, who is an exciting option. I think we'll be talking about him later. Uh, so yeah, all in all, I am generally, I will not say that they are somebody you can think of defensively. Uh, Obviously, I think Gallagher had a amazing game week. He came away with a brace, right?
yeah.
Callum Gallagher from West Brom last season. I was excited by him last season as well. He's a very direct kind of a midfielder. I don't expect him to be scoring in every match. He is a bit more of a box to box kind of a midfielder who does late runs into the box. So yeah, it was a good performance. I would say overall, if you say yeah, I think Palace earned the point.
I
Okay.
would agree with you there.
Anjan, you were about to say something.
No, actually, I just wanted to say we are talking about uh, Gallagher. We just talk about him in our last pod also. So like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he is an exciting option. I mean, he
yeah.
had a
So,
very solid
so
debut
guys,
last
is this
season.
guy Antonio that good? Should I get him into my team straight away? I don't have him. Is he that good?
I
He's the
think
best option from West Ham, but with their Europa League fixtures starting, they only have one striking option at this moment. It seems they have bought in the transfer window, which we'll anyways be talking about. They have quite a few options in midfield, but
You
in
have to go for a double up.
forward forward they
yeah,
only have one
I
option.
think you should stick with Danny Van Tongen.
Daddings.
Okay,
Uh,
I think
Okay, moving
Well,
on.
at
we've
this
discussed
point of
enough.
time, guys, if
moving
anybody
on.
does not have Antonio, make him a priority. The guy is
Yeah.
on fire. He is fit. When he is fit, I mentioned this in first pod. He is good fantasy gold. So don't think about it.
True.
Moving on, this was the
I agree
blockbuster
with
match of
Shomnath there.
the yeah, a blockbuster match of the week. Liverpool versus Chelsea. Let's ask the Chelsea fan what he thought about the match. I'm sure he has a lot to say about this match.
You're
Disappointed
talking to me or
actually.
Ranjan?
Disappointed actually. We were very much dominating the match until it was 11 versus 11. But once it turned 11 versus 10, so we earned a draw, a very hard fought draw. I'm happy with that.
I agree to the point that Chelsea were dominant when it was 11 versus 11. Do you think it was a red card?
I think it was a bit harsh, but as per the rules, it was red. It was red. If you go by the rules, it was straight red.
It was a harsh call.
But a red. But a red.
But a red. As per the rules, it was red.
I do
But
think. I mean,
But Chelsea
I
were
would.
very good defensively. I mean, one of the strongest points for Chelsea in the last 2 seasons. I mean, last half season and this season has been the defense. They've been exceptional, and
Since the
they're
Chelsea
still
match.
continuing the run. And even with 10 10 players on the field, they defended exceedingly well. So hats
No,
off to Chelsea.
actually, I just want to say in the second half when we are playing with 10 men, so in 45 minutes, Liverpool had zero shots on target. So we
Yes,
Yeah, with 10 men, that is a big thing.
we defended as a team.
I
When
agree. I think
once they went to 10 men, you said Liverpool had zero shot on target, or till the
Yeah.
time the red
No, no,
card
no,
they
no,
had
The
zero
second
shot?
half,
no, no, no.
in the second half. In the second half.
Is that true?
they did not allow Liverpool. Yeah, I think that I read it somewhere. They did not allow Pool to have a single shot on target.
I
And
don't
that
know.
is why they're Champions League winner, man. Come on. Defending
They were
champions for a
champions
reason.
who don't have a squad. They have a very poor squad. Yeah.
That Anjan is
Okay.
complaining. I'm very happy with the healthy squad.
Okay. Let's not go there. Let's move on to our next
Pseudo
fixture,
Chelsea
which
fan,
is
by the way, guys. Ritwick is a partial Chelsea fan as well.
I'm
Barring
a FPL fan first.
an FPL fan first and then a Chelsea fan, as he said.
Yeah.
okay. I think we should
For
move
me,
on.
nothing much to add about Chelsea. Chelsea, we have spoken whatever we have spoken in the past two calls about Chelsea. Everything stands true, even though they played Liverpool. And Liverpool, especially, again, very attacking, but it was a testament to Chelsea's defense that they kept Liverpool at bay, I think, at Anfield. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they both squandered chance of going top of the table. But yeah, that's how the cookie
Lucky
crumbles.
us. Anyways,
Yeah, that's how the
next
cookie crumbles
fixture.
sometimes. Next fixture was a fixture that I expected a lot of goals in. Eventually, it did not turn out as well. It was Burnley and versus Leeds, 1-1 draw. So, what is your guys' take on this particular match?
I think I was speaking with you over the phone regarding this fixture. I think
Yeah,
Burnley leader. I think you were saying that this match has at least 3 to 4 goals in it, and I said no, I don't think this being a very scoring affair. I think even though I wanted the match not to be scoring because I was not a Rafinha owner, but I was very disappointed with Leeds. I think they are miles apart from what Leeds were last season. The threat which they had, the pace which they had basically. I think Leeds last season their strength was the pace, the sheer pace of their fullbacks and the players attacking. They were looking lackluster of whether they're tired or
No, no. I think Burnley at home always are strong.
Burnley
yeah,
at
but
home is a
Leeds
very
Leeds
strong defense.
but still
Yeah,
Leeds were
Burnley at home.
very good last season. They were not looking anything of that sort
I think
in comparison.
even in this game, Leeds looked good, but not very good. But yeah, kind of good, but did not score enough.
Like last season, they
Uh,
were dazzling. They were not dazzling at all.
what you have to keep in mind certain things. That first of all, Liam Cooper was not fit at the start of the season. He is getting back into fitness. I think they are using Dallas in a different role than he was doing it last season in the midfield. Also, to the point of Luke Ayling, who is actually right now covering the left wing back position. This was
Yeah,
generally covered by Alioski, and Luke Ayling was the left-sided centre back. So they have signed Daniel Firpo. I think his first name is Daniel. Anyways, Firpo. So Firpo, I do see once he gets into the team, there will be much more chances. I wouldn't say that they are generally poor, but Leeds were definitely very poor in this particular match. They wasted a lot of chance. I mean, Harding Bamford actually got a goal, which was actually I feel it was an own goal, but nonetheless, I mean, Rafinha in particular got a lot of chance. He was a bit wasteful in front of the goal for this particular match. But I wouldn't be worrying too much about Leeds going forward. I mean, with the run that they have, and I'm very trustworthy in the sense about Bielsa. I think we'll wrap it up together, and I don't see a problem. I see from an FPL perspective, at least Bamford giving the same kind of returns that he was giving last season. Rafinha to have a stellar season. I mean, he's an amazing footballer.
you
Definitely
still
one of
see
the top.
Bamford giving 160 points.
Yeah. I see him getting the same amount of goal tally with the penalties that he has. I think his goal tally will remain pretty much the same,
I,
along
I
with
I agree
the
with Shomna. I agree with Shomna there because Leeds are a kind of team who do a lot of running, and to do a lot of running, you need a lot of match fitness. So these first three games would definitely have helped Leeds build that fitness into their squad, and going forward, they would definitely utilize this and I'm
This is
hoping
like
that
a
Leeds
mini
do well
season.
in the
The
next.
first 3 game weeks, a lot of manager takes it like a mini season, wherein now they get the international break and the long break where they work upon things, and I think you'll see a different side about Leeds from game week 4 onwards. I mean, granted, their first match from game week 4 is with Liverpool, but going forward, they have an
If you
amazing under.
if you
I have no doubt.
remember last season 4-3 Liverpool, so
Yeah,
definitely good. Leeds are
would love to
definitely
see
an
that kind of a
attacking
match.
option. Leeds an attacking option that we should look at. Okay, I think if there are no more points to be added, we should go to our next game week, Shunga,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is
It is
Spurs
Spurs
and
versus
Watford.
Watford. A lot of expectation from this particular match, but eventually the scoreline was as per Spurs' first 2 games. They are showing a bit of trend and consistency. It's 1-0 to Spurs once again. I genuinely see a trend forming under Nuno as to how I get an idea Spurs will play. Uh,
Defense first.
it's a different
Defense first, attack second.
uh, it's a different kind of system from Jose Mourinho. I will not say it's a defense first system necessarily, but it's a more based on counter attack rather than building up from the back. That's what I see as having followed Spurs match. They are more towards seeing the game through rather than going for the game in every match. That's what I feel. I mean, anything you guys feel or beg to differ?
No, I agree with you. Spurs attacking options with Nuno seems to be a little low because he seems to be happy with 1-0s, 2-0s, and he'll not go for the killer goal. Um, but having said that, the defensive options, Tanganga and Regulian on either side of the on either side as a left back and the right back seems to be good option.
I think another thing that has to be kept into mind is opponents that Spurs have faced. Starting with Man City, I mean, they were very much back on the defense and they were looking to counter attack in that particular match. I think the next match where they won 1-0, again, Bulls dominated stats wise and entirely were attacking, and there was no other option, but they did counter attack that match as well. I mean, they got the penalty and that was it. They shut shop. Watford as a team, the more I'm seeing, I'm figuring it's very difficult to figure out what Watford is as a team. I don't think they create. I think they are also expecting to counter attack back, but since that did not happen, it was a very weird kind of match. Eventually, Kane went there for it at the end. I think Dele Alli should have converted the chance from Kane. People who had got Kane should have got that assist at least. But yeah, all in all, I mean, they look solid. They have signed good players now. So, pretty exciting time
I
for them.
think
They're top of the table.
before we move on to our next fixture, the only one thing which I would like to mention is Watford considered a lot of fouls just outside the penalty box. So a last ditch defending from them. So if your player is playing against Watford, definitely want to watch out for, especially if they are taking penalties or free kicks for their
Set piece becomes an
own
option, right?
sides.
Uh,
Yeah.
they are good
Yeah.
team for set piece options. Last match of the game week was at the Molineux, Manchester United visiting Wolves. Uh, how do you see this, Manager?
A
How do
lucky
you
win for
see
Man
them?
United. We gave away a lot of chances to Wolves, and De Gea saved us. De Gea, Wan Bissaka saved us, and we managed to score a goal. So a lucky win for us, I would say. But 3 points, anyways. Good to
I
have.
think there was
Always good to have.
Traore was on fire in this match.
Traore has been on fire from
always on
since
fire.
game
Why
week
didn't
one.
any team buy him in this transfer window? I fail to understand. This guy is very, very
Spurs were after
agile
him.
and
Spurs were
Yeah,
after him, but
his
it did
chance
not work out for
conversion
whatever
will
reasons.
answer that for you, Ritwick. He has been on fire, but he has produced nothing. That's why probably no team has bought because he has a lot of skill. I
no,
feel
I know exactly a player of that sort, and he has gone to a team worth some big amount of money. I'll not name him. Me and you know that.
Okay,
anyways,
I quite don't
he
get
gets
you there, but
he got what I was saying.
let's not get into that.
one of the things that I would like to mention about this game was that Pogba, since he was on playing as a CDM, he was not as effective as the first 2 game weeks.
That
And
combination does
secondly,
not work.
Yeah, that does not work. And secondly, Trincao for Wolves was amazing, but with Foden's back, I am yet trying to see if who of Foden's, Traore, and Trincao are the first two options for Wolves. So that is
I
something which
think
I'm
De
yet
Gea
to
is first choice
figure
for a
out.
considerable future. I think now after this performance, I don't see Henderson
You,
starting.
we cannot say that. Though De Gea did some very good saves, you could easily see Henderson play the next game. So
Okay,
I
because
think
so
there's
still
more,
we have
more
to be wary of the Manchester United keepers if anybody is targeting them. Okay,
sure.
I think there's
I
not
think that wraps
a
it up.
new thing for Dia to add to the point. I mean, he has these kind of performances, 3 to 4 performances in a season every year. Like, so there will be 3, 4, 5 matches where Dia performs like this, and he saves Manchester United. In saying that, as per Ronja's question, the general feeling around Wolves fan and their forums I was frequenting there is that it's Trincao and Traore's position to lose. So Potence is not coming up right away, but if they continue to fail to score and eventually this is how it remains, probably they can come into the equation. But as of now, it's their place to lose.
Actually, I wanted to
That
add one more thing. Wolves have a very nice run of pictures now.
they, I am very impressed by Wolves, both
Yeah,
attacking wise and defensive wise, and it
yeah.
tells that they have a good run of fixture coming up. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely a team to look out for.
well,
I think that wraps up
that's it.
the game week review for us. Right, it was a lot of things to process in. I think generally now, around another couple of weeks time, start to move to more trends. We'll see trends forming. We can see the teams to target, and yeah, this international break is a good time to assess that, right?
Yeah,
So let's move on to our next segment. The next segment
Start.
we will be discussing the transfer window, basically whatever transfer has happened up till the deadline day, and how that impacts FPL for us, right? On the screen, as you guys can see, I mean, quickly, we will take it one team at a time. We will start with the elephant in the room, which is Mr. Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo coming back. Ronaldo is showing the 7 number at jersey. I don't know he'll be getting the 7 number jersey or not. Is Cavani giving it up, bro?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the news which has been around is that Man United are talking with the Premier League officials about allowing Cristiano Ronaldo to wear the 7 jersey. So it seems that Cavani will give it up.
Why does he need to wear the 7 jersey? I mean, come on, Messi gave up his 10 number jersey.
He's
It's his
CR7.
love. He's
He's
CR7.
CR7. He's CR7.
He has a Cologne brand also no, after that. So
Okay, yeah.
now,
Anyways,
I would like to ask a very important question, and not to a Manchester United fan because I know his answer. Ronaldo is, I think, 37 right now. His age is 37. I think
36.
37,
36.
37, 36,
36.
37. I think he's, if the non-Man United fans will agree, he's way past his prime. He's towards the fag end of his career. I think 2 years United have offered him a contract. Maximum this season and the next season will stay. Is he worth 12.5 billion? Like you can get a Ferran Torres and a Demari Gray for that price. Because Manchester United fan will say it's totally worth it. He will give you. Will he give you 250 points that season? That Bruno Fernandes gave you 12 million. Will he give you 250 points? Will he play the
Yeah,
entire season? That is
yes.
Yeah.
as a FPL point of view.
Yeah, I do think that he'll play the entire season. I don't see any reason considering he did not hardly missed any Serie A match last season. As per the number of goals he scores, I mean, if he does get the penalty from Bruno, which everybody in the community is predicting that he will be getting, I can easily see him scoring around 25 plus goals this season.
Okay.
We have seen his form. I mean, age is not really slowing him down. We have seen that from Euro as well. I mean, he won the Golden Boot. I think he was ranked highest winner of the Golden Boot.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. As per, I don't think he'll be creating much, but he will be there at the end of the chances. So I don't see a lot of assist happening from his side, but there will be a lot of goals. So
Well,
yeah,
I wanted to say something that if you see last season per 90 minutes, non-penalty XG and XA of
Cristiano.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo was 0.74. It was just behind It was just behind
Lukaku.
Lukaku with a 0.81. So I feel like it is very much sustainable.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't see any reason happening because we have to also consider that there is a gulf of difference between the qualities of the top teams and the mid-table teams and the teams fighting out for relegation. I definitely see him being a frat tag bully in those matches. Uh, so yeah, I don't have any doubts that he'll be scoring around 250 points.
and to answer Ritwik's question, even you
Easily.
did not you asked me to stay quiet for this section. I think
Ah,
uh, I have the best idea from among the four of us in this matter. Your question was basically if Ronaldo really deserves this 12 or 15 million transfer fee, which Man United will pay Juventus over the next 5 seasons. So in
No,
terms
no,
No,
of
his
no,
question
no,
was
no,
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 no, no.
no, no, no. That was not my question. My question was like, if I'm paying 12.5 FPL millions, will he give me 270 points like Bruno Fernandes gave me last season?
okay. So in terms of FPL returns, he scored more than Lukaku in Serie A last year. So even for a 35, 36-year-old guy, he scored more than the best striker in the Premier League at this point of time, maybe, who is
his
Lukaku.
goal involvement was less, but his number of actual goals were more than
And,
that.
and since he's not that mobile at this point of view, at this point of time, we expect Man United expects him to play at the number 9 position and not create, but be more of a finisher. So we do expect a lot of goals from him this season, especially with him taking the penalties and the free kicks for United. And you know that United have the good luck or the capability to win a lot of penalties as well. So I'm definitely expecting good things from him in terms of goals in this season.
You have absolutely no doubt in your mind, right, that he'll be getting the penalty from Bruno, considering Bruno is more clinical than him.
No. I do not have any doubt.
I think Ronaldo is an equally good penalty taker. I think.
And
But
very
just because he's
interestingly,
a high
there
percentage.
is a World Cup qualification game going on between Portugal and Republic of Ireland today, and it seems that Ronaldo has missed his penalty. Portugal have got a penalty and Ronaldo has missed it. But I do
The
still
request
expect
is
Ronaldo to. I
Banners
still
in the war.
expect Ronaldo to take the penalties for Manchester United going forward.
Is Bruno playing the match? I'm not aware.
Bruno and
yeah, he was in the
Ronaldo
lineup.
both are
Yeah,
starting.
yeah, in the lineup.
Okay. Did they have a conversation after the penalty?
I did not live.
That I
I
don't
did not
know.
watch the live
We
match.
have to
I did not
see
watch the
that.
match live.
Okay. So
Now
Bruno
let's
got
get
yeah, I
to
suspended
the
in the
mean,
Chelsea fan.
68th minute.
I don't see Ronaldo playing in the wing like the old times, right? I mean, he will be a number 9, right? So
He will be a number 9.
what does this do to Mason Greenwood and Cavani and Martial for that matter?
I think, anyways, Marshall is the fourth choice at this moment. He will definitely be coming on at the wings. In the wings, even in the game against Wolves, Marshall did come on in one of on the left wing. In terms of Cavani and Greenwood, I think Greenwood will continue playing on the right along with Sancho. With Sancho sometimes on the left and sometimes on the right, Greenwood would be on the right. And since Greenwood is in such a good form, I definitely expect Greenwood to continue
How
in
long
the
is
near
Rashford
future.
out?
Rashford was initially supposed to be out for a couple of months, but he's ahead of his
Okay.
return, and I
By
should expect him to come back by the end of September.
I don't think
places to fight for.
as for what the squad is right now, he needs to be rushed back. I think another significant mention about Manchester United's transfer business has to be Dan James. I mean, for me, him moving on to Leeds now, if nothing, I personally see, and this is not me as a Greenwood owner, I think that cements Greenwood's position more in the team, if anything else. I mean, uh,
I think
there are
I don't
other,
I don't agree with you. I didn't agree with you there simply because of the fact that Greenwood's position was never impacted by Dan James. Greenwood was at
no, no,
least for the last.
it was never, but people were wary. I mean, since Ronaldo would be playing in the forward position, so people were, slightly iffy if Greenwood will be continue to play or not. But I don't
He'll definitely
see
be continuing.
many options on the wing that can play right now. And I think last match Greenwood also scored the goal from the bench, right? When he was
Yeah, yeah,
not playing as a forward. So
we do
I
expect Greenwood to
see,
continue.
yeah, I do expect him to continue moving forward. Varane obviously added a defensive solidarity. So and Manchester United have a good run of fixture. I mean, at least for the next three. So yeah, scenarios are going to change. I'd like to mention, uh, although I've been playing FPL, I think we all have been playing FPL for 12 seasons. I never had the chance to take Ronaldo in my team in FPL wise.
Neither did
Yeah,
Nobody
I.
had this.
yeah. Nobody.
So
Nobody had
yeah,
This
that
is a
among
good
us.
thing. Yeah,
definitely looking forward to own him because the season I started playing, the last season Ronaldo left. I mean,
yeah.
before years ago. So yeah. Moving on. After Manchester United, Chelsea brought in Saul Niguez on. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. On
Yeah.
transfer deadline day. For people who are not aware, he is another one of the back full of defensive midfielders that Chelsea have. He's a very good one at it. He's coming in from Atletico. Uh, Anjan probably can enlighten us as to why they need five central defensive midfielders.
We don't have five actually. We have four.
Oh my gosh, that is too
I
less.
I I think Saloba can play in central defensive midfielder CDM role as well.
Yeah, he can, but he is
Then the entire
basically
Chelsea
a
defense
defender.
can play in midfield. Then
Yeah, point.
I,
So
by that logic, yes.
I don't see Saul Niguez becoming an FPL asset. I mean somebody that
no.
we'll like
No,
to
no
own.
way.
I don't see much more goals or
Actually,
assists or anything.
actually, Kante has been quite injured this time around. So we are just covering him up. That's my point.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Anjan, because I also feel that Sal Linguist will be the third or fourth option after Kante and Jorginho and Kovacic.
I don't see
So that means
him being an option after Kovacic.
yeah. So I
I think
I,
he'll
I
be
I
ahead
found
of
this
Kovacic.
found the transfer very strange, but nevertheless, Chelsea have a lot of money to spend, so why
What
not
I
I
found
think
add
he's
one
strange
more?
is
on loan. I think he's
no,
on
no,
Yeah,
no,
loan.
no. He's on loan for the season.
Yeah,
What I found strange is why did Manchester United not go for Saul Niguez? Anyways,
let's
regarding
not go
Chelsea,
there. Yeah.
they were
another
in their honeymoon phase with Ronaldo. They just forgot everything.
No, no, no. It's not like that. Man United were never in for Sal Niguez, so I would not complain
them not going
about that.
for CDM is a bit strange to me. But
Yeah,
anyways, to the point of Chelsea, I would like to mention another important bit of transfer news that probably did not happen and how that impacts is them not getting Kunde limits their chances of a right-sided centre back. So if nothing else, I think it kind
Rudiger.
of solidifies Reece James' position a bit more in the wing-back
Yeah,
position because I don't see Ashby moving to that wing-back position. Had Callum Hudson-Odoi happened, I think it would have been completely safe, but it did not go through. But I still see Reece James starting probably maximum number of matches. So he's
yeah,
a good
true.
asset going forward. I think.
I agree. I agree with you there, Shomna. I think he's definitely one of those Chelsea defensive players who should be in your team. He seems to be a constant pick in the Chelsea 11.
I think Rudiger is also a very cheap way. I think not signing Kunde. I think more or less guarantees that Rudiger is the cheapest way into the Chelsea defense from an FPL point of view.
No,
I
And,
think
actually,
and Cristiano,
Rudiger was.
Rudiger was always nailed. I think
Yeah,
it
Okay.
makes Christensen a better option probably if Kunde is not signing. I
Yeah, because
mean,
I think Chelsea are going into a good run of fixtures, so people would want a good Chelsea
yeah.
defender. Might double up also.
I
and
think for
Ronaldo has
centre
just
back,
scored for Portugal, so
He's so
I'm very happy
happy.
there.
what's the scoreline?
1-1 to Portugal.
Yeah, we have to get this guy. I think he's good. He's pretty good. This guy, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah,
I think
I
that.
pretty good.
I hear he can score goals.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Yeah, he can sometimes. Anyways, let's not go there.
yeah. Moving on to Tottenham's transfer business,
Royal signing.
they did a royal signing. They did mention on Twitter something about Royal coming in. Anyways, it was a surprising signing. They signed Emerson Royal from Barcelona, which was surprising in itself. But nonetheless, I think he straight away, considering the investment that Tottenham has did on him, I think he nails down the right back position. Also, Serge Aurier mutually has discontinued his contract after a discussion with Tottenham. So
Yeah.
yeah, I see him becoming first choice. He comes in at 5 million in FPL. Good option. I think he would be a good option under Nuno.
I think he's
For
just played
me,
90 minutes for Barca. I think so. I don't know much about him. He has played a total of 90 minutes for Barca only.
Yeah,
it would
he
be
was
a
just
wait and watch
Yeah, wait
because
and watch. Yeah,
I
Tanganga,
think
I think is the first choice for Spurs at this moment.
I don't see Tanganga as being the first choice. I mean,
if he
he
would have
gets.
been 4.5, then it was an easy decision. But 5, we can get better, solid choices who are sure shot guaranteed for 5 million. I
I
think.
think if we are spending 5 on Spurs, Rex is definitely a better choice for me.
Regis
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
very
yeah.
better pick than that.
Yeah. Anything else to add, guys? I mean, regarding Tottenham, I don't think, barring the fullback situation, right back, I think, apart
No,
from that, Brian
good
Gill was a
good defensive
transfer.
options. I think the only
Yeah,
thing which I would like to add is good defensive options.
good
Definitely
defensive
something
option.
to look out for.
You never know. I mean, Emerson Royal comes with a reputation, so he might become an option. And he is as attacking as it said. 5 billion is pretty cheap for a first
Yeah,
defender.
like I said, wait and watch. So I think
Yeah.
I'll wait and watch on that.
Okay. Moving on to Arsenal. I would like to take my time to pronounce this name right. They have signed Takehiro Tomiyasu. He is, uh,
Double T.
yeah, double T. Yeah, we can call him double T. Right. Anyways, he is supposedly a right back option that comes in for Arsenal, who was signed on the deadline day from Bologna. What I have obviously, I will say I was not aware about him. What I've heard is he was one of the very good right backs in the league last season for them. I have seen a bit of the clips of how he is as a player. Uh, if anything, I think right now makes the right back situation of Arsenal murky. The only reason I'm discussing Arsenal is probably many people will be looking at Arsenal considering the fixture. Uh, right back, we have choice. Bellerin has obviously left for Real Betis. So the choices right now would be Cedric, uh, Ainsley, and Tomiyasu. But knowing Arteta, probably he'll end up playing Tavares. I don't see much to add here. I mean, probably you guys, if you want to discuss anything about this
I
particular
think the
transfer,
price is good for double T. I think the price is good. 4.5.
yeah, 4.5 million.
4.5. Yeah, price is good.
If he nails down a
But
position,
but I don't think he's first choice at this moment.
I don't know. I mean,
They have spent big money on him. I think he will be given a chance to prove. I think. But let's wait and watch. We already have Ben White at
So
4.4.
again,
So
I think
wait and watch for.
if somebody is looking for a cheap value into the Arsenal defense, I mean, it's not much of a challenge. You can. You can be pretty much assured that Ben White will be the first choice.
yeah,
Once he's fit, I think right now he's at 4.4. Moving on,
the actor.
Newcastle signed the striker from Goal Movie, Santiago Munez. Absolutely no idea who he is. Probably he will be shining like the real life Santiago Munez. We don't even have an FPL price for him. We are expecting it to be around 6.5 million ish. Uh, I just think he would be a backup to Callum Wilson.
Yeah,
I think probably
And
up the pecking
Jolinton
orders.
and Gale.
I think
yeah.
he'll
He's
be
not going to start.
up the pecking order from Jolinton. That's why I
Nothing
mean
much to discuss here. I think.
Jolinton is a bit wasteful. Probably that's why they went for another forward option. Jolinton does not breed confidence in anybody in any team.
I think not much to discuss here.
Moving on to the form team of the Premier League, West Ham. They have done two very significant signings. One is from Chelsea, Kurt Zuma. I think we are all aware about Kurt Zuma's abilities. I see him adding 4 to 5 added goals for them in this particular season with Cresswell crossing them. So
Yeah,
with Kurt Zuma in the box, Cresswell again becomes an exciting option because right now I think the reason West Ham are conceding so much is due to their centre back pairing of Ogbonna and Diaz, I think. So
yeah.
yeah,
Dawson,
Kurt Zuma will
Dawson,
Dawson.
Dawson.
yeah. So Zuma will definitely add a solidarity into it. I don't see Zuma being anything other than first choice for the team. Barring this, they have signed Nikola Vlasic. Uh, he might be somebody who will probably take away some time from Benrama or Onals or Bowen. I do. It is to be seen how he fits into the team. Important thing is they did not end up signing Lingard, so Benrama continues to be an option. Lingard is
Yeah,
not coming into that position. I don't see Benrama dropping off from the main team anytime soon. But it will be interesting to see Vlasic how he fits into the team. He can also become an option. He is a very attacking midfielder, as I know, and he comes in at 6 million. So there are a lot of cheap and good options from West Ham. And considering the form
Yeah,
in, I think they can become good
I,
at middle
I,
of the season.
I think with the Europa League starting, West Ham will obviously want to rotate their midfielders, especially Antonio, who is on fire at this moment, would also need some rest, and I do expect Bowen to fill in for him at certain times. But in terms of their other midfielders, they do seem to have good options in the midfield with Bowens, Fornals, Yarmolenko, and Vlasic, which they've currently added in terms of attacking midfield. So all in all, a decent uh, transfer day for West Ham. But if you do have to choose anyone from West Ham at this moment, it definitely has to be Antonio, no doubt.
Right. Moving on to Brighton, they
Uh,
have
before you
signed.
move on, before you move on to the next game week, Ronaldo has just scored the winner for Portugal in their games. So,
It's a brace for Ronaldo, right?
so the Premier League should be on toes. Cristiano
Yeah,
yeah.
Ronaldo is coming for them.
Considering the considering the best player in the world, Messi is not there, so I see
uh,
him doing good.
and that will become a debatable topic. But I have one question. I mean, are Portugal playing Newcastle?
They are playing Republic of Ireland, who are as good as Newcastle.
Okay. Moving on, Brighton have signed Mark Cucurella. I would admit to you guys, I have no idea about this particular defender. He has come in as a 5 million defender. I don't know whose position he will be taking.
I think that he's not a threat to our 4.1 Duffy. I think, as far as I have read on the social media platform, he is not posing any threat to a 4.1 million Duffy. So,
And I
for
think,
all the FPL players out there, I think that's what I read, not confirmed or anything. They are saying that he's not a threat to Duffy.
but
Duffy
considering
has got a. Anyways, I feel Duffy would get a threat from actually Weltman.
Yeah,
I feel.
this Mark
And
is not
Lamptey
a
when he
threat to
comes back.
Duffy. Yeah, and Lamptey when he comes back.
Mm.
I don't see Duffy going anytime soon. But
I hope
anyways,
so too.
Everton have signed an old FPL favorite, Salomon Rondon. Fond
Not much to
memories.
talk about there, I guess.
Yeah, replacement to DCL, I think. The backup to DCL.
Yeah, probably backup to DCL or sometime backup to Richarlison. He gives them an
Yeah, he's not
extra
starting. Yeah,
forward option. Crystal Palace, I have been impressed by them throughout the entire transfer window. They have done brilliant signings. They have brought Otson Edward. For people who don't know, I think he's coming from Celtic,
Celtic,
right?
Celtic.
Yeah, he's a brilliant forward. So he is priced at 6.5 million. I think he will become an option in place of Benteke or Ayu. I probably Benteke. He's a very good forward. I mean, he was linked to a lot of big teams a couple of
yeah.
seasons back, right? And Will
I,
Hughes again makes the move from Watford. Yeah, you were
I,
saying,
I,
Dhananjay?
I think, yeah, I do think that Otson Edward is going to become Crystal Palace's first choice striker, ahead of Benteke and
Yeah,
Mateta.
I see that too. I mean, he's too good a striker to be a backup to anybody, and especially Christian Benteke. But no disrespect. But I do same Edward, and I generally, as I was stating ahead as well, before as well, rather. Palace, I see them moving in the right direction. I think they will be doing good eventually under Vieira. At least that's the hope.
Yeah,
Villius
uh,
moved from Watford. He is again somebody who adds another defensive box-to-box option for Palace. Villius, somebody is generally I was always very impressed by when he was in Watford. I had
at
some time in his
Watford.
team as well. Decent assist potential and all. Not much to add here. If you guys want to add anything, otherwise I'll move on to the next team.
No,
No,
I think the same there. I like you said, I do expect Crystal Palace to improve from here on,
Uh,
and thus
Leicester,
slowly odds on Edward to become an option for FPL managers.
two. Lookman has come back to the Premier League. It's Lookman 2.0, this time with Leicester City. It will be interesting to see how he fits. Uh, Generally, the last position that he played for in Fulham is the exact same position that Barnes plays for Leicester. Something to
He's a
be
Yeah.
seen.
Barnes replacement.
Exactly. It would be very strange if he's a Barnes replacement, considering they just gave Barnes an extended contract for the next 5 years again. So it will be
It's an
interesting to see how,
option
how
option on the
Lookman.
Barnes.
I will also not believe that Lookman has come just here to be a bit part player. He would like to be um, associated with the main team in that sense. Burnley, surprise, surprise, have signed two defensive options. One is Connor Roberts, who has a 4.5 million. I think he'll be a backup to Lowton. Lowton
Yeah.
is somebody who has been a servant for Burnley for a good part, I think around 8-10 years. So that's a backup for Lowton. I don't see him coming into the main team. Maxwell Cornet is another person who can play in defensive roles. He's listed as a midfielder. I think he can play either wings as well.
Yeah.
So probably he will be the one giving the crosses to Chris Wood. That's how I see it. It's surprising that Burnley has actually done more transfer. I mean, the number has increased from one.
I
Must
think
be a trend.
Burnley's attacking options are something really one should stay away from. If you
Apart from
do need
Wood.
to invest in
You cannot
if you
say
do need to
that.
invest in
If
Burnley,
Chris Wood was
it
on
has to be in
fire,
their defense. Yeah,
Wood
apart from Wood,
lovers,
like Ritwick said,
Wood lovers will be offended on this. Don't say that.
yeah, I think Ritwick
Yeah, I
said
think
that.
he's been
And apart from that,
consistently giving 130, 140 points for the last 2, 3 seasons, I think, for his
yeah,
price range of 7.
but would you really be considering Woods in the next, say,
I
five
think
game weeks?
taking Woods is in sporadic fixtures, like 2, 3 fixtures, and then swapping him is a strategy employed by many FPL managers. I think they have done it last season. They took him for 3, 4 game weeks. They gave him double 8 points, and then they replaced him.
But with the plethora of options you have this season, I think
Yeah,
it's
season.
definitely a
I
little
think the
tough
options. Yeah, it's a bit
It
tough.
has
get
to
Wood
be in phases. I
inside.
mean, he cannot be a set and forget. Nobody is set and forget with the options that we have this season. So everything will come down to
CR7
moment.
owners will feel offended now from the.
Moving on, Norwich City have signed ex-Liverpool defender Ozan Kabak. He comes in at 4.5 million. He will be a centre back option for them. I do see him starting most matches, and they have
I
also
also
signed
expect him
Matthew.
to start most matches.
Yeah, They have also signed Matthias Norman, who is another 4.5 million midfielder option. I don't see where exactly he fits, but it's to be seen. I mean, any of you guys have an idea where Norman plays?
No, not much idea about Matthias Norman, but I also do expect Ozan Kabak to start most of the games for Norwich.
Yeah, would add a bit of defensive solidarity,
Yeah.
right? Moving on, Bulls also announced pre to the Manchester United match. Hee Chun Hong was publicly announced inside the field. Uh, he is basically a winger forward coming from Salzburg. He was one of the higher scoring players who had scored in double digits. Probably he might be coming into consideration wherein right now Wolves are playing a formation where they're playing five at the back. But what I get the sense from the general Wolves fans and their forums is their manager wants to shift to a four in the back formation which they were playing in the preseason upfront. Where if you guys remember, Aith Nouri was playing as a winger. So they would be looking back to go into back to that formation eventually at some point of time. So probably Huang becomes an option then, and obviously he also becomes an exciting option to bring on from the bench.
I
When
think Hee Chon Wang is definitely one option that people should have their eye on. Not immediately, in my opinion, but
yeah, but he can
I do
develop
expect.
into an option. I think probably
Yeah, in
he is
terms of
the
forward options,
person who can actually get more goals after Jimenez.
in terms of options in the forward line for Wolves, he will be down the pecking line from Silva and Jimenez. But if he can also fill in the wings, along with Neto and Podence and Traore and Trincao, definitely something that Wolves fans and managers who are looking at Wolves should be looking at, but not immediately, because Wolves do obviously go on a very awesome run of games starting game week 4, but not immediately, but definitely someone to have your eyes on.
Right now, Neto is injured, so I mean
Neto is
he's
injured
out
for
of the
quite some time. Yes.
yeah, he's out of the equation as of now. So I think, as I said, I'm reiterating, it is Trincau's and Traore's position to lose. Potence is there, and Heechan Hong is also there in the backing. Moving on, Watford. Obviously, we know this. He also started the last game week. Watford have had signed Musa Sissoko from Tottenham. I don't see this impacting FPL too much in that sense, because we haven't actually been able to figure out how Watford plays till now. At least I haven't. I mean, if you guys have to add anything or can enlighten us about Watford in any sense,
Not
Anjan.
much to talk about. Not much to talk about here. The only thing which I would like to mention here is that Watford is one team where the central midfielders sometimes seems to go on a roll, like Phil Hughes and Dakore did in the past. So if you're wildcarding, maybe Musa Sissoko is an option. But if you are on your
Brentford out.
regular, if you're not, wildcarding, nothing much for
He can
Watford,
become
in my
a
opinion.
4.5 midfield option, as Anjan was pointing.
Yes, your fifth midfielder.
Last is the Leeds signed Daniel James from Manchester United. I was reading an article in the Athletic, and I mean, what I heard is Daniel James to Leeds is a transfer that has been there for 3 years in the making. Eventually, Manchester United got in between, and he went there. He just adds on to the option. I don't think he will be generally a threat to Rafinha or Haddison as of this point. I don't see them being replaced immediately. So it'll be interesting to see how they fit in Dan James into this lineup.
I,
If
I,
anything,
I, I would slightly want to differ from you here. I think Daniel James would go straight into the 11 in terms of playing on either
in
of the
case
left
of
or the right wings, and I expect Rafinha to play as a number 10, because in the past there has been some chat from Bielsa about the fact that Rafinha obviously is a better player on the wings, but he can also play number 10. And with his creativity and with the fact that Leeds has not had a very good luck with players in the number 10 position, Rafinha could definitely take that position, and definitely Daniel James could take Rafinha's position in the wings, on the wings.
two, I mean,
I expect him to take. Sorry, I expect him to take Harrison's position, and Harrison might move on to the other wing, or vice versa, and Rafinha as a number 10 player
I
for
don't see
James.
Harrison moving from the left wing. Probably what you said about Rafinha becoming a number 10 option, I think that is something that is viable and something we might keep an eye out, because if at all, if anything, it makes him even a better option, Rafinha.
Even a better option. I think Rafinha does definitely become a better option with James joining in.
So that's about it. That was all the significant transfers that happened, and which would eventually impact us FPL wise. Hope this segment helped you guys in getting a bit of clarity as to how what
And
teams to target.
please let us know if you do agree or you do disagree with any of the points that we mentioned here. We would
Yeah,
love
sure.
to have a different. We'd love to hear a different point of view, and it only improves our content.
Yeah.
Opinion. Moving on. We'll move on to the wildcard section. I think we have lost Anjan for quite some time now, probably due to internet glitch or something.
As
Anyways,
usual, it's the case with our pod.
yeah, we're just still trying to figure it out, guys. Be patient with us. Uh, so moving on. wildcard, you guys will be seeing these are the fixtures or the teams that we are supposed to target. Before we move on to this topic, I think, as far as my knowledge, none of you guys are wildcarding actually this game week, right?
No, not me.
Okay.
Not
Okay,
me
we're not
either.
going for the wild card, so yeah.
I think for me, whenever I try and do my wild card, I see, do I have 6 to 7 changes to my team which has to be made, which is not quite the case at this moment. So I'm currently holding off my wild card. I'll probably using it in the next international game week, like
Yeah,
most of
same
us.
reason here. Yeah, same logic here.
My wildcard strategy usually is I believe that you should not be doing the wildcard when your team needs it. I mean, when you have to make 9, 10 changes. I believe in attacking with the wildcard. So do it when you think that you can make a huge impact and you can do a rank rise or jump rather, right?
Says an
So
Arsenal fan.
it has
That
nothing
is
to do with
that is
FPL.
something which I've just come to know right now after playing with you for 11, 12 years. So I mean, good surprise for me.
I think I've never seen Shomnath use an early wildcard.
Oh
I
no, I have
generally,
seen he does.
I,
No,
I
I've
think
never seen him use in before game week 16. I think never.
usually I do target my preferential time to wildcard is the busy Christmas period or the
Yeah.
festive period. Usually I do it in December, wherein I attack. Although I did play my wildcard early, I think a couple of seasons back, but generally
You
I'm
did.
a person who refrains from doing it. I like to keep it as long as possible. Anyways, so how we'll be approaching this particular segment is we'll be first discussing that the teams that are worth targeting in this particular wildcard who are going on a good run, as you guys can see on the screen as well. Arsenal do get on a very good run from game week 4 onwards. Right, the next six fixtures would be Norwich at home, Burnley away, Tottenham at home, Brighton away, Crystal Palace home, Aston Villa home. So, barring the Tottenham fixture, I think all of them are reasonable fixtures. But you guys see any options from the Arsenal team that you can actually go for in the wild card?
For me, it definitely has to be Tierney because I do expect Arsenal to keep the all clean sheets, and Tierney is definitely good going forward. But the other options, Aubameyang and the others, are too expensive for me to go at this moment. If you already have Ben White in your team, he's definitely one you should continue with. And if you are wildcarding, maybe you could consider him because he definitely has good pictures. So Ben White and Tierney for me.
I think Pepe is a good differential. I think he was unwell for the last game week. I think he started 90 minutes in both the game week 1 and game week 2. I think Pepe was Arsenal's best player towards the end of last season. I think he was amongst the goals and assists. If
Same.
Arteta somehow manages to find a system and a technique to use him, I think he'll be a good differential. I think in your wildcard team, especially if you are struggling with your rank or the first 3 game weeks have not been nice on you.
Says the Maverick manager out of the three of us.
Yeah,
Definitely. I mean,
I think
I
I
magic
would
is a very
like
slightly
subtle
differ.
word you have
I
used.
slightly differ with Ritwick on this because in the first 2 games in which you did say that Pepe played 90 minutes, Arsenal did not have the new player Odegaard. So with Odegaard
Yeah,
coming into the team, Odegaard definitely walks into the team, the first 11. And with the other players like Saka, I do not think that Pepe is 100% sure in the 11.
I think
Somnath?
Odegaard and Pepe plays a very different kind of a role. If we are talking about wing position, wherein Pepe is usually playing, Saka is, I think, definitely nailed on in the first team, regardless of the formation. He will be mostly operating from the left wing position. Right wing,
Which
I
is
can
Pepe's
see.
top place.
No, Pepe's position is actually the right wing position. So with Odegaard now coming into the team, I can see ESR dropping on, or Martinelli dropping on, or Pepe dropping on at that in that particular right wing position, game to game, and it differs. For me, I think midfielder, be it 5.5 midfielder in Odegaard or ESR, or be it Pepe. Pepe for me definitely is not an option considering that at his price range you can get players like Jota. Ferran Torres from Man City. Probably if you can downgrade, you get Rafinha, who all have good fixtures coming up. I don't really see the Pepe being an option personally for me. Uh,
I agree
as
with
per
you there.
the 5.5 million midfielder, be it ESR or Odegaard, uh, I would much rather prefer Gray to them. Gray from Everton to both of these options. I think he is bang on form. He is much more involved directly into the goal creation or the goal involvement process. So if for 5.5, I'll be going. Uh, right at this moment, I think Arsenal is a bit dicey. I would not be jumping on. Fun fact, I mean, actually, I think we forgot to mention all of us have done a template wildcard team. So it'll be fun to see that
Yeah.
what players that we gone for. But if you guys already have Ben White in your team, like many people had that particular plan of keeping Ben White first and then playing him on from game week 4, I think he is a good option. He should be coming back to the team. But if I'm wildcarding right now, I would not be looking to buy any Arsenal player. That is what I generally feel, right? So the next team who are going, actually, we are looking at the next 6 game weeks, guys. So the next team that does have a good fixture that I will be looking for, if I am actually wildcarding, is Everton. Everton has a good fixture. They start with from this particular game week with Burnley at home, then they go to Villa away, and they round it up with Norwich at home. In between, they have Manchester United away, which is okay, a difficult fixture for them. Then they finish it up with West Ham at home and Watford at home, right? So I think it's a decent offensive kind of a fixture run for Everton in this particular run. What do you guys think? I think DCL is definitely an option.
I think DCL and Demari Gray, I think we have spoken loads about it. I think the point here, I think you should speak a bit about Digne. I think Digne was in most of the fantasy managers team in game week 1. They were not happy with his return, and I think people, if they are wildcarding, should they stick with Digne or they should remove him and go for greener pastures? What do you think?
For me, no, because Dini is 5.5, and you do have better options in the same price bracket in Chelsea, especially. So for me, Dini, no. I think if I would be wildcarding at this moment, my picks would be either DCL or Gray, not both of them, either of them.
No defenders from Everton.
If you have
No
a
defenders for
defender from
Everton at this moment.
Everton, I would not be in a rush to get them out. But if as we are talking about wild card, as Ronjay mentioned, I would not be. I mean, apart from Dean, I don't see anybody else as an option actually in that
Digne is
Everton
on set
defense.
pieces also, I think, since Sigurdsson is not there, I think. He's on set pieces
But they're
also.
not. Yeah, he might be on set pieces. He
Probably
definitely is on
he's
set
not as
pieces, but
effective
he's
in this
not.
particular system. I feel that uh, there are better options. I mean, if for that price range, I would rather go to these James than Lucas Digne,
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Valid point. Fair point.
right? So that's about Everton. I think their fixtures are good offensively. Moving on, the next team who has really a good run of fixture is Leeds. Uh, Mind you, that does not start this game week 4, that is, it starts with Liverpool, but after Liverpool uh, at home, they do have Liverpool at home. Their next fixtures are Newcastle away, West Ham home, Watford home, Southampton away, Wolves home. I think that is one of the best fixture runs I've seen. Uh, so definitely, uh, for me, the prime player would be Rafinha. I would not
And
be
Bamford.
touching. Yeah, I would be coming on to Bamford. I would not be touching Leeds defense right now. In particularly, I have not been impressed. I would like to see them become a bit more compact before moving on to their defense. Attack wise, definitely Rafinha is a prime option. Why Bamford also definitely he is a good striker and everything, but why Bamford? I would say considering right now the options that we have in the forward department with Antonio Bang in form, DCL we have already discussed. There is Lukaku, there is Ronaldo coming in, there is Kane coming in. I don't see an system in wherein people probably can fit in Bamford. So I think Rafinha is a more than apt choice. But definitely, I mean, if you want to
I
go.
personally have Rafinha in my team. But I was trying to get in Bamford before I got in Rafinha in game week 3, simply because of the fact that Bamford is on penalties, and I do expect Leeds to win a few penalties in the upcoming game weeks. And Rafinha and Bamford is good both with his head and on his feet, so I do expect him to be
But do
uh,
you really think
involved
that he
more in the
fits the
goals.
third forward slot? DCL is there, Antonio is there, Ronaldo is there. Do you really think he's going
No,
to?
See,
there is not
if
much
you
difference between
somebody,
there is not much difference between DCL and Bamford for me. If both of them get into a run, Bamford could easily outscore DCL. He could easily
Okay.
go with the Bamford and Demari Gray option.
We can go for Rafinha and DCL also. It's the same thing.
But Bamford and
I
Demari
think
Gray
it's a
is for a lower
costlier
price.
option. It's a costlier option, Rafinha and DCL. But point to that, what I would like to add is if somebody right now, let's say if they are not going with a formation wherein they want to bring either Lukaku or Ronaldo, I think the best three forward options going into a wild card would be probably Antonio first, definitely,
Yeah.
DCL, then Bamford slash Jimenez. And I think Bamford right now edges it, considering he looks like the Bamford of old, and also obviously he also has penalties. So yeah, that's about. I think that would be the option.
Personally, I would suggest, if possible, get in Bamford. If not, get in Rafinha. I think both of them are priceless options,
I
and
think
they'll
Jimenez
definitely give you
Yeah,
is
valuable
not up to
points.
100%. It did not look that sharp against United. I think he'll take some time coming off from a serious injury.
well,
So wait and
who
watch. I
mentioned
think
Jimenez?
Jimenez. I think he's.
Mentioning Jimenez,
But with
Wolves do have a
Wolves
very good
creating a lot of
attacking.
chances, I think
He
with
was
Yeah,
not
Wolves
amongst.
creating a lot of
He was
chances.
not the core of the chances. Majority were created by Trincao and
But
Traore. He was.
I agree with you there. But with the run of fixtures and with the type of chances the Wolves are creating, I do not discount Jimenez whatsoever.
I would like to mention as to why we are discussing Wolves because they go on a very amazing run from game
Yeah.
week 4. Their fixtures read as Watford away, Brentford home, Southampton away, Newcastle home, Aston Villa away, and Leeds away. I think all of those fixtures are very highly scoreable fixtures, right? So that is the point why we are considering Jimenez. Jimenez also has penalties in his locker. I think with Jimenez, it is just a matter of getting that first goal. He has been really out for a very long time. He practically missed the entire season last time around. So uh, it
Once he
makes
gets his
sense.
first goal, he should be going on a
He is
run.
still getting into all those positions that he usually gets into. It's just that probably there's that blockage or there's that probably that not 100% confidence in finishing off those chances. But I do see it turning around for him in as well. Bulls,
So we should wait no for his first goal rather than straight away getting him in for a wild card. We should wait and watch for Jimenez. I
He
think
could be a punt. He could be a punt,
yeah,
early
it
punt for
depends
many
on people's
might be.
managers.
appetite
Yeah.
for contests actually because some people might be thinking about mini league at this stage only. I mean, definitely. See, a differential stays a differential for hardly 1 or 2 weeks, right? Case to point, Benrama, Antonio. People will eventually get. So, whatever advantage you have as a differential is those 8 to 16 points. So, it is about first movers basically. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if somebody wants to go for with Jimenez, definitely. For me personally, I would rather wait for him to get that first goal, as Ritik said, and move for him. Speaking about Bulls, I see options all around. I am impressed by their defense, right? Especially if you're in thinking of investing in a defense, they have. I would like to mention Bulls has a huge squad, and all of them can be first team. So who exactly is their first choice defenders? It's not sure. I mean, I can understand people will be saying Cody is an option. Even Cody, I don't know how he fits in. He might also be because Willy Bolly is not playing right now,
I
right?
think Cody
So
is club captain. No.
yeah, but
Cody is the
he's
captain.
not
I do
a
expect him to start
yeah
all the games.
yeah he should be, but you never know under a new manager. Right now, if you have to invest in a Wolves defender, I see Marsal posting good numbers. He has 4.5 midfielder playing in a wingback position. He's sending
as
in
well as
crosses.
Semedo.
Yeah. Semedo is 0. .4 higher, not zero point 0.4 higher than Marcel. He's 4.9, started at 5 million. So eventually, as I was saying in the Wolves forum, the general thing is that they will be moving to a back four. I see probably Semedo keeping his position rather than Marcel. So if you want to invest in a Wolves defender, that is the route to go. Their goalkeeper is good if you can extend your budget by zero point 0.5, because personally for me, I don't till now, at least till game week 3, there hasn't been any standout 4.5 million goalkeeper for me. Nobody has really stood out, which is one of the major reasons why I'm not wildcarding, because I don't think I can improvise on anything. Even if I take somebody, that also will be a gamble on my part, I feel. Uh, so if you can extend your budget, I would definitely suggest to go with Jose. He's 5 million, and with an amazing run of fixtures, he gets a lot of saves. In the attacking department, I think Traore and Trincao. Trincao is zero point 0.1 million cheaper than Traore. They both are an exciting option. What do you guys think?
I think Trinkhaus is a bit tricky because with Foden's coming back, I do expect Foden to
Yeah,
get a lot of
Traore is
game
more
time.
sure, I think.
I think Traore is the surer of the two options, and
If
I
you
am
want to go
going
for
with
a Wolves attacker,
and
I will go with Traore, I think.
and I do expect Traore to be in my team beginning game week 4. If I was wildcarding, uh,
Yeah.
at this moment I'm not wildcarding. I still expect Traore to be in my team because I'm looking to downgrade Bruno. So maybe I would get Traore in.
Moving on, the next team, we have already spoken about Chelsea a lot. I will just mention, if you are looking in the near term, Chelsea probably has a couple of tricky fixtures. But if you're looking at overall 6 game week fixtures, their fixtures read as Aston Villa home, Tottenham away, Man City home, Southampton home, Brentford away, Norwich away. So if you can rule out the Man City game, I think Tottenham game is a decent-ish game for them. I do see Chelsea scoring, probably winning that match as well. And barring that, they have amazing 4 fixtures, which is Aston Villa, Southampton, Brentford, and Norwich. 3 of them being at home. I expect them to win all of them. We don't need to speak much about Lukaku. He is definitely the standout choice in attack. If you are thinking of taking a punt, my friend Anjan would have been better advised to speak on this. But I feel Mount and Havertz would be an option. I would not touch Werner with even a ball. It is sad to see, but he is not really an option. Havertz, I see playing probably most of the matches. Mount too, I see his position being nailed in the team. Barring Lukaku, personally for me, I'll be really interested in the defense.
Yeah.
Even though Reece James is missing a match, I think I'll be going for him if I'm wildcarding at this point of time, because he just looks to be bang on form. Centre back option. If you want a confirmed centre back option, if you can spend 5.5 million, Rudiger is definitely somebody who will be starting every match, irrespective of whoever is coming into the defense. I don't see the Rudiger moving. Anything else to add, guys?
I
No, I
Regarding
think if
think
Chelsea?
you've
you're
covered
wild,
most of my
I think
points.
if you're wildcarding, the first two names that you would add in your wildcard team is two Chelsea defenders. Simple as that. If you can hold off Liverpool with 10 men at Anfield without letting them score, have a shot on target, it's pretty much speaks volumes. The first two names
Good
on your team
option
sheets
there.
will be Chelsea two defenders.
I think Reece James definitely a
Yeah,
pick.
Reece James, Alonso, I think also is a good choice. He's sure shot guaranteed to start that run of fixtures.
Barring this, these two teams, which are Manchester United and Liverpool, they have good short-term fixtures, wherein their next 3 game weeks are really good, and then their fixtures take a turn, right? So Manchester United obviously has Newcastle home, as we have spoken multiple times during this pod about that, followed by West Ham away and Aston Villa at home, uh, and then they go into Everton home, Leicester away, Liverpool home. So those are a bit of tricky fixture, but the next 3 definitely look good for them. Liverpool, on the other hand, their next fixtures read Leeds away, Crystal Palace home, Brentford away. So if I'm wildcarding, probably I'll be having players from these, but I'm expecting at this point of time, most of us already have them.
Yeah.
We do have Mo Salah in our team. We do have Trent Alexander-Arnold in our team. So I think Liverpool is pretty much covered. I don't see anybody who does not have Liverpool at this point of time. Probably the Firmino news is something to look forward to. If he is injured out, Jota again is a very good option for the next 3 game weeks. Manchester United, definitely and obviously Cristiano Ronaldo is a big factor. He's a captainable option for the next 3 game weeks, or probably the foreseeable future as well. Uh, Barring this, Greenwood, if you cannot afford or go up till Ronaldo, I see Greenwood being involved in goals, right? And even Shaw, as one Manchester United defenders, Varane, Shaw, they are good options for the next 3 game weeks.
Are you really convinced with Manchester United defensively? Not that attacking threat of Luke Shaw and Van Bissaka. Clean sheet wise, are you convinced with Manchester United?
Considering the next fixtures, yeah, I think I see them keeping clean sheet. I think Varane will add a bit of solidarity to the defense, which probably Lindelof does not offer. So yeah, I do expect clean sheets coming through. If Pia continues performing like this, I'm
Means
going to
like
come.
Manchester United have after Newcastle, I think they have West Ham. I don't see a clean sheet happening there. Then Aston Villa, okay, might be Everton, Leicester, Liverpool. I don't see Manchester United keeping, but they might win 7-1. That's not a issue. But I see them conceding that one goal against Everton, Liverpool, Leicester, West Ham.
But
I
that
think that's what
by
Shomar is trying to say, that
that point
if
of
you are
time
wildcarding,
you are moving
obviously
on.
you will not be having a Man United defender. But if you already have Shaw, it's not a bad option to keep him
Yeah,
because
I will not be buying him on a wild card, but if you have him, definitely keep him. Their fixtures turn from game week 7 in that sense, so that is ample amount of time. So these are the primary fixtures that we are looking at. Uh, the particular reason as to why I myself am not wildcarding um, in this window rather is because I don't see many fixtures. I mean, Liverpool has good fixtures. We have players from them. Manchester United have good fixtures. We have players from them. Uh,
Yeah,
Chelsea's fixtures actually take an upturn
seven.
from game week 7 onwards. If you want to move for a look, I mean, if a hit can suffice for a Lukaku or a Cristiano Ronaldo, I would rather go for that because I'm looking at the next international window wherein the fixture turns for Chelsea as well as Manchester City. Right, right now the fixtures turn for Arsenal, who are low on confidence, who will not be feeling comfortable investing into their assets. Bulls, who are posting amazing stats, but they're not really converting them into goals. They're not sure about that. Leeds start a good run of fixture from game week 5, so it will not be an immediate return probably. If Liverpool, we I do understand it was a 4-3 last time around, but then again Van Dijk was not present, so that scenario might be completely different this time around. Uh, so there is not much to gain from wildcarding at this particular point. But yeah, if your priority is getting Cristiano Ronaldo or Romelu Lukaku or both, and if there is no easy way to get that, then yeah, definitely
Yeah,
uh, wildcard
I
or
think
maybe
I think you've
there's
pretty well covered the reasons for most of us not wildcarding. I think if you are really are wildcarding, it's a good time. It's not definitely a bad option because at this moment you will get the price advantage, and you also with 3 game weeks you have an idea of which players to take, and with Ronaldo coming in, you can easily fit in Ronaldo without a hit. But personally, I would wait for game week 7 because um, uh, at that point of time, I would have more of a sample size in terms of options to choose from, and with multiple teams having favorable fixtures from game week 7 onwards. Personally, I think game week 7 to 8, that international game week is a good time to play your wildcard. Ritwik, if you differ, please let us know. I
no,
think
no, I fully agree with you. The sample sizes will increase as we see more the players getting involved and how the team sets up, the manager and all are getting settled. I think if you are struggling a lot, like your rank is 3 million, 4 million, and you have feel that no, I need a wild card, then you can go for it. Otherwise, unnecessary tinkering your team if you are in a not a very bad position, you can continue with the team. And if you can get a Ronaldo or Lukaku with a -4 or -8, even you should not be wild carding just for Lukaku and Ronaldo, I feel.
Yeah,
I
I
will,
quite agree to you.
I will add to this. If you have a very good rank, right, like you are nearing the top 10K or you are in the top 50K in that sense, and you want to make a move for Lukaku and Ronaldo with a wild card, I would say go for it because it will pay dividends. Not many people will be able to afford them without a hit, and you can really make that move towards the top 10K and eventually the top 1K. It's a good time to go for, right? What we
Uh,
guys wanted to do for you guys, we had planned a fun thing wherein all of us have created a wildcard template in that sense. So I think we'll start with Ritwik's team first. Ritwik, if you can read out for our listeners, what is your wildcard team and a bit of justification as to why you have picked those players.
Basically, just you can see the team on the screen. It's basically a wild card kind of a thing because actually I'm not wild carding. Still, I'm unsure about the goalkeeper sections. I've just gone with the template Sanchez because 4.5 million. I've not seen a keeper of Meslier status, which we saw last season. He was giving save points and saving penalties also. Ben White, I'm sticking with Ben White in my wildcard because I feel that Arsenal will improve. They are not going to be 20th in the league table for a considerable for a long time. I see them jumping position in the table and they will be doing good. Livramento, I think, goes into the team by default. He, as you said, he nearly had an assist, which Janepo should have converted, and he's looking solid in his position. He's not feeling out of sorts, and the manager has trust in him. I've gone with Matip as a 5 million defender from Liverpool, just to fill the slot. He's basically as a placekeeper for an upgrade to Reece James or something like that. So I did not have the budget for Tar because you'll see that later. 4.5 million I've gone for Sanchez from Spurs. I think this Sanchez's position is doubt because of Emerson signing. I'm not sure, but Dyer is also there, so that's not a worry. My midfield, I've gone with Mo Salah. Nothing much to say over there. Young Min Son, I feel this season Young Min Son will outscore Harry Kane by a good margin of points. I feel this is like my prediction for this season. I feel very confident about this fact
that's a
because
big call.
yeah, that's a big call. I feel
Bold
because
call.
I don't see Harry Kane's heart is he might be 100% focused, but I don't see his heart is where it should be for a golden boot race kind of a thing. I think Son is looking sharp. He has signed a new contract with Spurs for 5 years, I think. And I think whatever will go in the back of the net from Spurs, Young Min Son will be involved in there, and he's saving you 2.5 million. Basically, I've gone with Rafinha. I think he's going on a very good run of fixtures. I'm very impressed with this boy. Demari Gray, I've gone. I've not taken DCL because I feel that Demari Gray 5.6 million will give a good set of points in the coming 4 to 5, 6 weeks. Everton are having a good fixture. Ben Rama, I'm still sticking with him because he should have gone an assist or a goal, which Antonio assist or Ben Rama goal was there, which did not happen. I've gone with Ronaldo and I've gone with Lukaku and Obafemi as bench fodder, I think. So the formation will be 3-5-2 with yeah, basically this is it. I think I've gone with both Lukaku and Ronaldo.
So you've gone big up front and you've gone with
Yeah,
three
I've gone big
premium.
up front. Yeah. We've gone with actually four premium because if you consider Sun, it's four
Yeah.
premium players in the team. Yeah.
So you'll have a captaincy headache as well.
Yeah, I'll have a captaincy headache, but I don't. The reason because I've not gone big on defenders is barring Trent Alexander-Arnold, I have not seen any defender posing a very big threat. Okay, Cresswell, you can put up an argument for Cresswell, but okay, if you're going 5.5 million, you can go for Reece James. So it's either Trent Alexander-Arnold or a 4.55 million defender for me. Nothing midway,
Interesting
I think.
choice, interesting option. People who
Yeah,
are
initially I said it's a
looking
wild
to
card.
looking to fit in Lukaku and Ronaldo along with Mo Salah. There's your team for you.
Yeah.
Uh, let's move on to Ronja's wildcard template team. Let's see what he has done with it. If you can read it
I
out
think
to our listeners.
if you can see this team on the screen, this team tells
We
you
also
the
want to
reason why I'm
read
not
it out to the benefit of the listeners. What is the team?
particularly wild carding. I think I'm not changing Sanchez and Steele in the goalkeeping area. In defense, I've got James, Duffy, and Semedo because I do expect James to score a lot of points, probably more than Ta even in this season. And I already have Livramento from my last game week, and I'm trying to get Duffy in. In terms of my midfield, my bench fodder is Gilmore, with the other options as Rafinha, Salah, Greenwood, and Traore, Adama Traore from Bulls, because with the amount of chances he's scoring, he's creating, he's bound to score finally. In the forward options, I have Antonio, Calvert-Lewin, and Ronaldo with an obvious captain situation, Ronaldo. One thing which I'm again considering is Calvert-Lewin and Traore to Damari Gray and Jimenez, because I do expect Jimenez to outscore Traore in the near future in the next 5 to 6 game weeks. I think that in particular covers my wildcard team if I was to wildcard. But at this moment, I am not, like I had mentioned. Shumrad,
Ranveer, don't you think?
does your
I want to say something. You have put Greenwood and Ronaldo both in your team. Don't you think Ronaldo covers the Manchester United attacking portion? You can go for
no, no,
someone else apart from Greenwood.
I think Greenwood's in form. He will definitely start all the games. He's in form, and I definitely see him as an option. And just in case I see that Greenwood is not, giving me the points or not looking like giving me points, I could easily downgrade into someone like Ferran Torres. So that is the reason I've gone with
He's a
Greenwood as well.
placeholder for like 2 3 weeks, something of that sort.
I expect him to continue scoring because Ronaldo will not be the only one who will be scoring. But just in case he does not give me the returns, I could easily downgrade him to someone.
Okay, nice.
So how many premiums have you gone for?
It's Ronaldo, Salah.
Two.
That's it.
He spread out his team. He's made a very balanced kind of a wild card.
Moving on to my team, I have also gone with two premium option team, right? And at the time of sending, I did not notice this, but I have three players from Norwich. Oh, damn. I don't know how that came about being. Anyways, my goalkeeper options, I have gone for Jose Sa. As I mentioned, none of the 4.5 impressed me, and I think Sa has a long run. Bulls generally have a very good run of fixture for a very long time. I do see that happening. My second keeper is Angus Gunn. This is probably with the mindset that if Norwich do continue conceding a lot, Krul might be replaced and Gunn comes into the play. So we might eventually have a backup keeper at 4 million, although I don't see that happening. I have for my cheap defenders, I have gone with Shane Duffy because I already had him in the team. I think I'm more comfortable with him being a 4 million size. And the other four, I have gone for two 4 million options because my formation will be generally 3-4-3. The other 4 million option is William. Partial reason being I don't own Livramento right now. Going for Livramento would have costed me zero point 0.1 extra, not zero point 0.1 extra. Also, we have to keep in mind Livramento is an 18-year-old kid, so I don't see him playing the entire season or over 3,000 minutes in the entire season, right? Although we're not keeping him for the season, but I have gone for Brandon Williams for Norwich, who I feel will be eventually be the main team choice, considering he moved from Man United on a loan. So that's
Yeah.
there. My other three defenders are tired at this point of moment because again none of the 4.5 billion defenders impress me. Dyer does have certain clean sheet potential, and I think Dyer and Duffy can be rotated in that sense for the third spot. My other two defenders right now are Trent Alexander-Arnold and Reece James. I agreed Reece James will be missing this particular game week, but then again, Duffy can cover that, having Burnley at home. I think it's a good fixture for a clean sheet for Brighton. My fifth midfielder is Billy Gilmore again from Norwich. Nothing much to that. My midfield consists of Mo Salah. I have gone on with a double up with Diego Jota because I feel Liverpool have a very good fixture for the next three, as I already stated. I have gone for Rafinha. Uh, I wanted to experiment with this position, but I did not want to book a transfer for the future. I mean, Rafinha does have a good fixture going forward from Game Week 5. I don't want to pre-plan a transfer in that sense. The fourth midfielder position has gone to Traore. Now, regarding Traore, I was not sure. I was actually deliberating between Traore and Islamia Sarr because Sarr also has very good fixtures. If I
Decent run
take
of
this
fixtures, yes.
Yeah, for the next four, Watford have Wolves at home, Norwich away, Newcastle at home, Leeds away. So those are pretty good fixtures. The only reason I have gone for Traore is because Wolves have been so dominant in the uh, stats wise, attack wise. So I do
And they
see
are
some
bound to
kind of,
score someday.
yeah, say eventually they are probably bound to score some. If it does not happen, it's an easy move to Sar. I mean, this game is at home. I mean, it can be easily switched. In the forward option, I have gone with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Self-explanatory. I've spoke about this. Antonio need not need to be spoken. I've gone with Cristiano Ronaldo because I believe getting him right now, if you're wildcarding and if you're going with a two premium strategy like me, makes much more sense because he is the highest ceiling price wise. So anything you can downgrade at any point of time and get any
Under
forward
him, you
forward.
can downgrade it.
If you're committing to somebody like Lukaku and you're not having any cash, again you are keeping a headache in your mind wherein you will have to take a hit again to get Ronaldo in. And I think he has three very good fixtures upcoming. All three are captainable, and Lukaku
Yeah.
has good fixtures from game week 7 when you can easily make that switch. So that's about my team. I have not gone for many premiums because I don't want first of all that headache of who is the captain every week. And yeah, so that's it. I mean, that is the team I would have probably gone with if I would have was wildcarding right now. I'm not. Um, Anything else to add, guys? I think that's about it from us. I
Yeah,
hope
I think yeah, that's about it from my side as well. I think we had a quite a lot of quite a lot of
it has become a very
important
lengthy pod.
discussion
Yeah, elaborate discussion.
in
We have
this
gone.
spot, and I
It's a bit longer than our usual pods. I hope, but I mean, length aside, we are able to help you in your decision making regarding wildcard and regarding the transfers that have come in, and we have given you fair understanding as to how the teams are operating right now.
at least I have been. It's definitely benefited me because I have heard two point of views from you and Ritwick as well as from Anjan. So definitely given me some ideas and definitely helped me with my team next game week. So thank you for that.
If it has helped you guys, please like and subscribe.
And I
Uh,
hope Baldy also hears and starts playing Mahrez.
I think at this point of time, Ritik, you need to stop trusting Baldy and move on with it. You cannot
Yeah.
beat what you left, right? So we have to plan around that. Guys, do
Okay.
like our video. It helps us get found on YouTube. Your support means a lot. I would personally like to thank all the people who have subscribed, and we have been getting decentish view on our videos. Whoever has taken time, I would like to thank you guys. We are constantly trying to update our content as well as our tech part. So hope everything goes well. That's it from you guys. Hope your arrows are
Yeah.
That's
clean.
it.
We will be coming back for a game week 4 pod. It will not be as lengthy as this one, I promise, before the deadline. So that's it about me, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you,
Do like, share,
Somnath, and good
subscribe,
night to
guys. Thank you
everyone.
for watching. Thank you.